Good evening, everyone. This is the Rooftop Sports, and here I am back for some Mariners baseball. And strangely enough, I think you've seen some slight adjustments on my studio. My camera's a little bit off, I guess, and all the memorabilia stuff is done that are gone. That is because I'm actually in the process of moving, and luckily, I just squeezed just enough time to be able to do a Mariners show. Other than that, my room is completely empty, but for now, this will still be my studio until further notice because internet has not been set up at my new house yet. So here I am. I mean, my standing desk is gone too. So I mean, let's take a look at it, and I'll even show it from another angle if I can. Well, anyways, we got the Seattle. I'll just show you guys on commercial break. This is Seattle Mariners versus the Kansas City Royals. And the Mariners are and the Royals are now at deadlocked at even at 1-1 in the series. And Mariners are hoping, and they are hoping that they can at least take the lead in the series. Actually, no, it is 2-1 in the series. My bad. 2-1 in the series. The Mariners are just hoping that they can come away with a 3 of 4 in the series rather than 2 of 2. We need a 3 of 4. We cannot just go into this going. We can't just take a 2 of 2. Like, we got to go 3 of 4 on this one. And doing that's going to be Logan Evans. And strangely enough, Emerson Hancock has been sent down due to his recent struggles. I even just dropped him on my fantasy baseball team as well. So we've got that and Seth Lugo. And for the lineups for the Kansas City Royals, it's going to be Jonathan India, Bobby Witt Jr., Pasquantino, Garcia, Salvador Perez. We've got Rave, Lofton, Fermin, and Isbell. And going up against Logan Evans. Mariners starting lineup, it is going to be J.P. Crawford, J.P. Crawford, Julio Rodriguez, Cal Raleigh, the big dumper, who just got voted in to be the starter for the All-Star game as a catcher. First time in Mariners history. Also the second All-Star in Mariners history as a catcher. The first one was Dan Wilson back in 1996. Jorge Polanco, Randy Arozarena, Jorge Polanco. By the way, Randy Arozarena has been absolutely on fire. And we got Luke Raley, Dom Canzone, Ben Williamson, and Cole Young. J.P. Crawford, the former Gold Glover, and Cal Raleigh is now voted in as the All-Star. So let's see what the Mariners can do for this week or for this game, and hopefully that they will get it done. And now here is the first pitch, and it's going to be brought to you by SeatGeek. And now here's the pitch, and that is going to be in there for a strike, and we are underway here at T-Mobile Park. Here's Jonathan India this season. He is batting .243 with 4 home runs and 23 RBIs. And next comes the next pitch, and that is going to be a strike, and that is strike 2. Got Jonathan India batting .243. I think I've already said that. And we're at an 0-2 count by Logan Evans. Not really sure how I feel about Logan Evans as a starter. He has shown something. I mean, he has a below 4 ERA. I'll give him that. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got him on the slider, and that is going to be 1 out. Nice pitch by Logan Evans on 3 pitches. He gets his first strikeout of the evening. And next is going to be the best player on the Royals, Bobby Witt Jr. And now I'm wondering where my iPhone is. Oh, there's my iPhone. I absolutely need that so I can keep myself cool as we got Bobby Witt Jr. And now here is the pitch. And that is going to be a swing and a miss, and that is strike 1. Bobby Witt Jr. is batting .290. And my friend Joe Stevens, who I was trying to get on the show, he's actually at the game. 0-1 for Bobby Witt Jr. Now the pitch, and that's going to be outside for a ball. I wonder who else I can get on this show. I don't know. Let's bring this down just a little bit. And now here's the 1-1. And Cal Raleigh tried the frame job, but didn't sell it to him, and that is going to be ball 2. Bobby Witt Jr. Not sure if he was actually voted in to be the All-Star. And now the pitch. And that's swing and a miss, strike 2. Going to look at All-Star starters. So for the American, it's going to be Jacob Wilson. He's actually the starter. And now here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 strikeouts in a row for Logan Evans. He is just on fire as of now. And now here is 2 outs so far. And next up to the plate is going to be Pasquantino. Vinny Pasquantino batting. What's his batting average now? He's batting .267 with 12 home runs and 47 RBIs. And now here is the pitch. Now here's a ground ball right to Cole Young. Toss over the first, and that is going to be in time to retire the side. An easy 1-2-3 inning already for Logan Evans. We go to the bottom of the first inning. It is no score. Senor, tell me how you make a thin crust Sahara pizza.
With your hands. Cornmeal.
Hello, baseball fans. I'm excited to announce that we are still offering 50% off pizza and 25% off bowling Monday and Tuesdays. Head on over to Snoqualmie Sahara Pizza. This deal will go through May.
And that's how you make a Sahara pizza. Beautiful thin crust.
Yep. Go to Sahara Pizza. And that deal, I know it says end of May. It's actually throughout the entire summer. So go ahead and take advantage of that. And now I just got to go to StreamYard. And we are back from the break. So after the bottom of the first inning, I will show exactly what's going on with my room right now. I mean, other than this stuff, like it looks like there is still stuff, but actually, in actuality, like I can tell you, I can tell you right now that there's it's just a lot of it's empty. I can tell you that. And that is going to be strike 1 to JP Crawford. And now here's the pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball. And now the pitch. And now here's a ground ball and fouled. 0-2. And now we're at 0-2 by Lugo. And now here's the pitch. And now here's a ground ball right to second base. Jonathan India throw to first. And that's going to be in time. And that's going to be out number 1. Nobody else in my live show right now. Lugo, who has a lot of pitches. 4-seamers, curveball, sinker, cutter, changeup, slurve, and a slow curve. He's got a lot of stuff, I can tell you that. Now here's Julio Rodriguez batting .255. And now here is the pitch. Inside, and that is a ball. And I must say, Julio Rodriguez, as much as he's doing great in the F-WAR and the WAR department, he's still struggling on the bat. Now here's the pitch, and that's going to be a foul ball, and that got him on the jamming corner. And that is going to be 1-1 to Julio Rodriguez. Now we're at 1-1. And now the pitch. And that's going to be foul ball right down the middle. And that is going to be strike 2. Now we're at 1-2. And now here's the pitch. And that's going to be low for a ball. Now we're at 2-2. And the pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball. After this inning, I will show you what my room looks like. As we're at 2-2. And I am burning. 2-2 pitch. Outside, way outside for a ball. 3-2 on the Julio Rodriguez. Julio's facing a 3-2 count. And now here is the 3-2 pitch. And check swing. Did he go? He did not. That's going to be ball 4. Take your base. And now up to the plate is going to be big dumper Cal Raleigh, who just got voted in officially to the All-Star game as a starter for the catcher. It looks like Salvador Perez is giving him that congratulations once again. Cal Raleigh's batting .272 with 33 home runs. He is 6 home runs away from tying Barry Bonds for the most home runs in first half. Now here's Cal Raleigh. Now the pitch. And that was just right down the middle, and that is going to be a strike. I guess he just didn't like the pitch, as we're at 0-1 for big dumper Cal Raleigh. And now the pitch. Low for a ball, and believe it or not, Cal Raleigh became the AL Player of the Month in June, batting .300, 11 home runs, and 27 RBIs. And now we're at 1-1 for the big dumper. Now the pitch, ooh, swing and a miss, and that is going to be strike 2. He really tried to just really chase the living life out of that one. And now we're at 1-2 for Cal Raleigh. And now the 1-2 pitch, way out, a little bit outside for a ball. That is 2-2 for Cal Raleigh. Now we're at 2-2, and the pitch, and a swing and a miss, and the throw to second, and that is not in time, but that's going to be 2 outs for the Mariners, and maybe Julio Rodriguez should have done that a little bit earlier. Yeah, Julio had a nice jump on that. And interesting enough, today, although today is Thursday, they are wearing their Trident Connect jerseys on a Thursday. I mean, that's more of a Friday thing to do, as tomorrow's game is going to be at 1 p.m. And now here's Randy Arozarena up to the plate. Salvador Perez is having a little bit of a chatter with Lugo. And I wonder what they're talking about. I wouldn't know. $16 pitches for Lugo so far. Lugo pitched into a grounder, and he struck out Cal Raleigh. Arozarena is batting .252. And the pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball. Got jammed up. And that's going to be 0-1. Randy Arozarena has hit 3 home runs in this series. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe 4. He has 12 home runs this season. He's kind of picked it up this week. The pitch. Now here's a fly ball to center field, but that's not going to get anything done. And that's going to retire the side. And we go to the top of the second. And now it is time to show what my room looks like. Yeah, this is where my bed was, and it's completely gone. All is left is my DNA project from high school, this lamp, map of South Korea. The TV is actually just downstairs. Everything's gone. Believe it or not. And all these are still here. All these are going to go last. As soon as the internet disconnects here, everything is gone. So, yep, that will give you the idea of what the moving situation is. And thanks for watching that. Nothing happening so far with the exception of a walk. Logan Evans with 2 strikeouts. And the last time he had an outing, he had a near complete game. Dan Wilson didn't even let him finish that inning, which was very frustrating. And then he just got sent down, which looks like that decision didn't age well at all because Emerson Hancock has unfortunately just regressed. And now we got Garcia up to the plate. And now here's the pitch. And that is going to be in there for a strike. Garcia is batting .305. That's the 10th pitch for Logan Evans in this inning. And now the pitch. And that's just going to be outside for a ball, 1-1. Now here's the 1-1 pitch. Outside for a ball, 2-1. And now here's the pitch. Now here's a ground ball right to Ben Williamson. Throw to first. Nice bouncer, and that is going to be in time. Nice play by Ben Williamson as he was way out in the corner, but he got him out anyway. And my fantasy baseball team is absolutely dominating as everyone else everyone's kind of off their game. Now here's a ground line drive, not a ground ball, caught by Ben Williamson. And talk about that. Already 2 outs in this inning. Let's hope that this holds up. JP Crawford basketball jersey night coming this Saturday. Would have been more fitting to do it on Wednesday, I guess, because the Sonics left Seattle on July 2nd, 2008. Yesterday was that tragic anniversary when Greg Nichols crapped out of it. He crapped out the last 2 years of that lease to get $45 million. Should have been a lot more than that. And now here is the pitch to John Rave. And a swing and a miss. And that's actually a foul ball. If you really think about it, Greg Nichols traded away Kevin Durant, Serge Ibaka, Nick Collison, and Russell Westbrook for $45 million. Let that sink in. That's how reckless of a deal that settlement was. And now here's the 1-1. Now here's a ground ball right to Cole Young. Throw to first, and that is in time. And that's going to retire the side. 6 in a row retired by Logan Evans. And we go to the bottom of the 2nd inning. It is still no score. Have some nachos at that Snoqualmie Mexican restaurant right next to that Sahara Pizza place, along with, which is near that river. Got to check it out. It's a great Mexican food. You got to go try it. The chips are really good. You will not be disappointed. Commercial break still going on. And we are back from the break. As much as Logan Evans is pitching extremely brilliantly. And also, there's a 4th of July special. Use my promo code Fireworks2025 to get 20% off for 4th of July. So here's that. And now here's the pitch. Now here's a liner to right field, and that is going to be a fair ball, almost going into the corner, bouncing off. Here's Jorge Polanco going to second base, throw to second, not in time. And now we got a runner in scoring position, thanks in part to a double by Jorge Polanco. Now here's Luke Raley. Now the pitch. And that is outside for a ball. Now here's Luke Raley. And that's going to be a foul ball. Seattle Supersonics Twitter asked me, tell us, how long have you been a Sonics fan without telling us how long have you been a Sonics fan? And I said, using Desmond Mason in NBA Live 2003. And now here's the 1-1. That is up high for a ball. And now we're at 2-1 the count on Luke Raley. Luke Raley, thankfully, he returned to the starting lineup, which is why Rowdy Tellez is no longer on the team. He got cut recently. And now here's the 2-1. Outside for a ball, and that is 3-1 the count. Luke Raley does hit hard. His exit velo is just about average with the MLB average. As we're at 3-1, the pitch way outside for ball 4. Take your base, and now we got runners on first and second with nobody out. And now next up to the plate is going to be Dom Canzone, and this is a big opportunity for Dom Canzone to make something happen. Like I would like to see like a 3-run home run or just basically just anything to advance the runners and score someone home. But with Jorge Polanco's feet, you're gonna have to hit extra bases. I don't think a single is gonna get it done. Now here's the pitch, and that's gonna be a foul ball. Dom Canzone, he did struggle initially in the first couple. He only had like 2 at bats, so I don't think that's a fair assessment. But right now he's hit 5 home runs, 8 RBIs, and batting .258 the pitch. And he swung at a really bad pitch, and that's going to be a foul ball. 0-2 for Dom Canzone. He's batting .258. And now the pitch. Up high for a ball, and that is now a 1-2 count for Dominic Canzone. We're at 1-2. And now the pitch. And that is outside for a ball. 2-2. Good eye on Dominic Canzone. Now we're at 2-2. And now the pitch. Check swing. Did he go? He didn't go. That's going to be 3-2. He dodged a bullet right there. Now it's full count 3-2. Now we're at 3-2. And the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. He swung at a really bad one way outside the strike zone, and that's going to be 1 out. And yeah, Dominic Canzone is not too happy about himself, as he shouldn't be, because he swung at a horrible pitch. I don't know if he wouldn't have gotten a home run out of that. Not even close. It was just very unnecessary to swing. I could have loaded the bases with nobody out, and now you have a double play situation with Ben Williamson up. And now here's the pitch. And that's going to be right in there for a strike. And that is an 0-1 count on Ben Williamson. Ben Williamson batting .258. He is 2 for 4 in the series thus far. And now here's the pitch. Up high for a ball, and that is ball 1. On deck is going to be Cole Young. As we're at 1-1 for Ben Williamson. And now the pitch. Check swing. Did he go? He did not. And that is going to be a 2-1 count on Ben Williamson. Just a little bit of a... Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I covered that up. The sun was kind of getting in my eye on that one. And now we're at 2-1 for Ben Williamson. Now the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Got him on a slider. And that is going to be 2-2. Pretty sure that was a slider. It seemed to be. It was a slider. And now we're at 2-2. And the pitch. Outside for a ball. 3-2. I kind of thought for a second that he was going to swing at that. And now here's the 3-2. Now here's a fly ball to left field, and that's not going to get anything done. And he makes the catch, and that is going to be 2 outs. And with men on first and second with nobody out, next thing you know, you blink an eye. Now it's going to be 2 outs, and it's going to be up to the kid Cole Young batting .253. Cole Young has shown some promises, has excellent defense, and he is a guy that you don't have to rely on for the home run. I mean, all he has to really do is just drive the ball. And looks like Major League Baseball draft is actually happening right now. But here I am just doing the Mariners game. No, the draft is just over a week away. And now the pitch. And that's going to be right in there for a strike, 1-1. Now we're at 1-1. And the pitch. Outside for a ball. We're at 2-1 to count. And now the pitch. And that's going to be right in there for a strike. I think that was his pitch to swing at for Cole Young. It was kind of in the cold zone, but still, he should have just let it happen. See, I mean, it was a good pitch to swing at, in my opinion. Now we're at 2-2. And the pitch. And swinging a foul ball. And that is going to be still 2-2. Cole Young kind of got away with it. He almost struck out. Now we're at 2-2 for Cole Young. And now here's the pitch. And that's going to be popped up, and that's not going to get anything done. And he makes the catch, and that is going to retire the side. We go to the top of the 3rd inning. It is still no score. Hello, baseball fans. I'm excited to announce that we are still offering 50% off pizza and 25% off bowling Monday and Tuesdays. Head on over to Snoqualmie Sahara Pizza. This deal will go through May.
Tired today.
Correction, it's going to go through the rest of summer. And I do have some Sonics videos I guess I can show off during this commercial break. What do I got? Well, and it looks like we are back from the break. Looks like conversations going on. Now here's the pitch, and that is up high for a ball. There was some conversation between the pitching, the coaching staff of the Mariners and the umpire. Had no idea what it was. And here's Lofton up to the plate, batting 185, and now the pitch, and that is a foul ball. We're at 1-1. And now the pitch. And that is outside for a ball. That is 2-1. We're at 2-1. And that's going to be popped up and fouled. We're at 2-2. And now the pitch. Now here's a ground ball right to Ben Williamson. Throw to first. And that is in time. And that is going to be one out. Logan Evans off to a great start so far. And now here's the pitch to Fermin. And that is inside. That nearly got him. And that is strike one. He's batting .266 with 2 home runs and 8 RBIs. Now the pitch. And that is going to be low for a ball. And that is 2-0. Fermin again. And the 2-0. Swing and a miss. And that is strike one. Two and one again for Fermin. And now the pitch. Now here's a ground ball right to J.P. Crawford. Toss over the first. And that is in time. And that is going to be 2 outs already for the Mariners or the Royals. Fresh stats. Cal Raleigh was a 3rd-round pick. Cole Young was a 1st-round pick. Ben Williamson was a 2nd-round pick. And Logan Evans was a 12th-round pick. MLB draft starts on Sunday, July 13th. And now the pitch. And that's going to be right in there for a strike. We're at 0-1 the count. And now here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, and that is going to be strike two. We're at 0-2. And now the pitch. Low for a ball. That is 1-2. Still got the fan going off. right over here. And now the 1-2. And that is going to be a ball 2-2. Isbell batting .243. And now here's the pitch. Check swing. Did he go? He did not. And that is going to be 3-2 for Isbell. And now here's the 3-2 pitch. Now here's a ground ball right to Cole Young. Toss over the first in time. And another 1-2-3 inning for the Mariners. We go to the very next inning. And it is no score. Or shall I say bottom of the third.
Modern Exterior Solutions is a fully licensed and insured full-service exterior renovations company serving Seattle and East Side communities. We know that a home is one of your most important possessions. That's why we're committed to providing high-quality, affordable home renovations for each customer's individual budget. We're diverse enough to meet the challenges of any project you put in front of us. Our workmanship minimizes the use of third-party services, and our team works together to meet all your deadlines. Anytime there's a challenge, we work with you to find a solution. We're proud to work with distributors of quality brand products with durable, ample protection from the elements for a variety of applications, including James Hardie siding and trim. Talk with us today about your project's needs, and we can help you solve all the challenges along the way.
So I was recently asked, what was the worst trade in the history of the Seattle Supersonics? Some may think it was the Sonics trading away Scottie Pippen. Some think it was trading Shawn Kemp for Vin Baker. Wrong. I would say it was when former Seattle Mayor Greg Nichols traded away Kevin Durant, rookies Russell Westbrook and Serge Ibaka for $45 million on July 2nd, 2008. Yeah, the relocation to Oklahoma City. Never forget.
But at the end of the day, all that would have gotten us was 2 years. And at the end of that 2 years, we would have had a very bad relationship with the league, no team, and really no prospects. We think we have the pieces to be more likely to be successful than had we waited until the judges ruling it for.
And Thunder fans, I don't blame any of you. Yeah, that really didn't age well at all. Now here's J.P. Crawford up to the plate, and that is going to be a ball, 1-0. And now we're at 1-0, the pitch. Now the pitch. Now here's a ground ball, and that's going to get right through for a base hit. Second hit of the day for the Mariners. And now you got J.P. Crawford at first base with a single. Now it's going to be up to Julio Rodriguez to see what he can do. And he's really got to step it up. Now here's Julio Rodriguez up to the plate. And now the pitch. And that's going to be a ground ball foul. 46 pitches for Lugo so far. He's been pitching quite a bit, but he's been getting himself out of some jams, including the last inning where the Mariners had 2 men on, and Lugo still found a way to get out of it. Or did the Mariners get themselves out of it? And now we're at 0-1. Now the pitch to Julio, and that's going to be a foul ball, strike 2. Excuse me while I get some water. 0-2 the count on Julio Rodriguez. We're at 0-2. And the pitch. Swing and a miss at the dirt again. Strike 3. And that is going to be 1 out. And I really hate what Julio's doing. He's constantly swinging those at the dirt. I don't care if those are fooling pitches. Still really bad. And now here is Cal Raleigh up to the plate. Now the pitch. And that's going to be outside for a ball. I think my video is being proven right. Cal Raleigh is batting 1-0. Is that 1-0? Now the pitch, and that's going to be outside for a ball. Now here, throw the first, and that is not in time. Eugenio Suarez just hit his 27th home run. For someone like Ryan Divish that reported and claimed that Eugenio Suarez was aging and out of shape, didn't seem to age well at all. Down to 2-0, and that's going to be 3-0 to Cal Raleigh. And it looks like he's trying to pitch away from him. So this is going to be very interesting what they do next on this pitch, as now he is working on a 3-0. Cal Raleigh is. And now the pitch. And that's going to be fly ball, more like a pop-up. And that's going into left field. And he makes the catch, and that is going to be 2 down already. And as soon as J.P. Crawford hits that single, next thing you know, yeah, that happens. And now here's Randy Arozarena. And now the pitch. And a swing and a miss, and that is going to be strike 1. Now we're at 0-1. And throw back to first, not in time. And now the pitch. And that is a strike. And looks like, according to Ken Rosenthal, Eugenio Suarez says he doesn't want to leave Arizona. But us Seattle fans want him, and we felt that the Mariners should have never traded him, as we're at 0-2. Now the pitch. And that was and Salvador Perez was trying to sell that one. And now it's going to be 1-2 as he missed it. Arozarena is at 1-2 so far. And now the pitch. Outside for a ball, 2-2. And it's a foul ball. Two outs and 2 strikes. I hate to say, if I'm Randy Arozarena, then I would just completely just blast it the best you can. As we're at 2-2 now. Now here's the 2-2 pitch. And that is up high for a ball. That is 3-2 on Randy Arozarena. We're at a 3-2 count for Rando. 3-2. Now here's a ground ball right to the pitcher. And the throw to first. And Salvador Perez still gets it out in time. And that will retire the side. And we go to the top of the 4th inning. And this game is breezing along quite a bit. And there is absolutely no score because no one is doing anything. Try our hand-breaded chicken tenders, perfectly seasoned and served with a choice of sides, golden fries, fluffy biscuits, homemade mashed potatoes, creamy mac and cheese, fresh side salad, fresh coleslaw, plus enjoy a dipping sauce on the side. Come in and treat yourself to the best comfort food around. Visit us today and satisfy your cravings. Yeah, those chicken tenders are pretty good. They really are. Trust me. Nothing much going on right now. Looks like I got a couple comments. Kevin Kirby is here. You love Cal, but why is he swinging 3-9 there when the pitcher was obviously pitching around him at 3-0? I guess he just wants to, he really wants to get to that record. 80s fireworks night on July 18th. Now here's Logan Evans, and now here is the pitch, and that is low for a ball. Here's Jonathan India, and now the pitch, and that's going to be right in there for a strike, 1-1. And the 1-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Nice pitch by Logan Evans on that one. And the 1-2. And that is low for a ball, 2-2. And the pitch. Ground ball, foul. And the pitch. Outside for a ball, 3-2. And Logan Evans is in danger of giving up his first walk. And the pitch. Outside for ball 4. And there goes the perfect game. That's just great. And now here's Bobby Witt Jr. Now the pitch. Swinging him. Wait. They're just showing the replays. Why are they doing that? Like, why? Just absolutely ridiculous. And now the pitch. And that's going to be right in there for a strike. As we're at 0-1. Bobby Witt Jr., WAR leaders last calendar year. He was 9.9. He was a very valuable player. And now the pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball. Christian, I see the Astros finally lost. Maybe y'all can gain a game. Probably not. They always lose. Mariners always lose when the Astros lose. As we're at 0-2. And now the pitch. Outside for a ball. That is 1-2. Oh, man. This is insane. As we're at 1-2 for Bobby Witt Jr. He's got the signs. And the 1-2 pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball. And looks like the runner was going. And that's going to be 2-2. Your boys, PCA and Tuck. Pete Crow Armstrong and Tucker Carlson. Carlson? I meant Kyle Tucker will make the entire summer. As we're at 1-2. And now the pitch. Way outside for a ball, 2-2 on Bobby Witt Jr. As we're at 2-2. And now the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And that's going to be another strikeout for Logan Evans. That's strikeout number 2. Just 2 strikeouts. So not much to say. Yeah, he seems to have 0 help around him unless it's Salvador Perez. Now here's Pasquantino and the pitch. And that is going to be in there for a strike. As we're at 0-1. Now the pitch. Swing and a miss, and that is going to be strike 2. Yeah, I can't believe I said Tucker Carlson. My bad. As we're at 0-2. And the 0-2 pitch doesn't go at it. It's going to be 1-2 on Pasquantino. As we're at 1-2 for Pasquantino. And the pitch. Low for a ball. That is 2-2. Yep, he is absolutely insane. Cal Relay. I know what you mean. Looks like they're trying to review if he actually got hit. It's like play is under review at the moment.
The replay bay looking.
They're still reviewing the play. Because it looks like it was a hit by the pitch. So Dan Wilson tried the challenge and it failed. So now you got runners on first and second with 1 out. They do have a chance for a double play, though. Yeah, and if you ask the Royals player if he got hit, he's going to say, of course he did. And they just burned the challenge. Here's Mikael Garcia. And now the pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball. Strike 1. And the pitch. Oh, inside that nearly got him. Logan, let's just calm down. Let's not try to load the bases because you can't find your strikes. After brilliant pitching, Logan Evans has been struggling this inning. And now the pitch. Check swing. He does not go. That is going to be 2-1. Two and one for Garcia. And the pitch. Now here's a ground ball, and that's going to get right through for a base hit. And Rosarena, you better hustle and the throw to the plate. And nothing is happening. So the no-hitter is gone. Now you got the bases loaded. Randy Rosarena is just lying down. Is he in pain or just in disbelief? Rosarena, not a great thrower. But now you have a chance. You still have a chance for a double play, but the bases are loaded for Salvador Perez, and this is where things can get dangerous. And now the pitch. And now it's going to be popped up, and that may not be enough. Here's Cole Young, and nothing doing. You look and sound tired. Yeah, I am tired. When you're moving from like one house to the other, like this, you're probably thinking, how do I have enough energy to even do this? Yeah, Jonathan India thought otherwise. Evans on 54 pitches, got 2 outs, got a chance to get out of the jam. And now the pitch. Outside for a ball, and that is ball 1. It's John Rave, who grounded out in the 2nd inning. Batting 184 with 3 RBIs. And now the pitch. And that is low for a ball. 2-0. And after, again, 3 brilliant innings by Logan Evans, it is now starting to slip away. 2-0. Ugh, 3-0. And this is where it really gets ugly, as Kansas City is on the verge of taking a 1-0 lead if Logan Evans cannot find his strike zone, as he's been struggling all inning long. The 3-0, and that is a strike this time. You were kind of convinced that the umpire was not going to give it to him, as now we're on a 3-1 count on Rave. Johnny Rave, that is. And the 3-1 pitch. Now here's a ground ball right to J.P. Crawford. Throw to first, and that is in time. And personally, I would have just gone for second base to get the force out. But the Mariners do get out of a bases-loaded jam, and it is no score.
We're making half pineapple, half tiki tiki with barbecue chicken. You put the garlic. Put the pineapple on the whole pizza. Remember, they want half pineapple, and the one is going to be tiki tiki. Tiki tiki with pineapple, garlic, feta cheese, artichoke hearts, and the chicken. And we're gonna spread some barbecue on top. And it's ready. Put it on the oven. Let it run.
Hello, baseball fans. I'm excited to announce that we are still offering 50% off pizza and 25% off bowling Monday and Tuesdays. Head on over to Snoqualmie Sahara Pizza. This deal will go through May. Yeah, I did sleep on the Angels. Of course I did. But so did everyone else. I thought the A's were going to be the sleeper team. And we are back from the break. Ultimate Sahara Pizza or the Lion's Feast Meat Lovers Pizza. And now my YouTube streaming is now sleeping on me. Man, spend $20 a month on this and they still can't figure this out. Well, gonna have to go to a different approach. And now here's a fly ball to deep right field. Is that still going? Oh my goodness, that is gone. That is a home run for Jorge Polanco. He hits his home run. That is 12 home runs, his 12th home run of the season. And the Mariners now take a 1-0 lead. And what a shot that was by Jorge Polanco. Good to get on the board. And I literally just got the streaming back just in time to be able to witness that. It is the Mariners 1 and Kansas City 0. And that was just absolutely blasted. Now I'm going to get this paper. Now here's Luke Raley up to the plate. Now here's a fly ball to deep right center field. It might still be going, and that's going to be off the wall. And Luke Raley is going to possibly go into second base, and that is going to be a double. And the Mariners are now hitting the ball right after Jorge Polanco hits a home run. And that was just absolutely blasted. Now here is Canzone, and that's going to be popped up as he was really trying to join the club. And center fielder makes the catch, and that's going to be 1 out. Next up is going to be Ben Williamson. Here's Williamson. And now the pitch. And that is going to be a strike to Ben Williamson. That's going to be 0-1. And now here's the 0-1 pitch. And that is going to be strike 2 for the Big Ben. 0-2 the count. And the pitch, inside for a ball, 1-2. Around the minor leagues, Ty Pete hit a 2-run home run. And the 1-2. And that's going to be way outside. That's going to be 2-2. Ty Pete playing for the Everett Aqua Sox. Hitting a home run, has been playing pretty well in the minor leagues. As we're at 2-2 for Ben Williamson. And now the 2-2 pitch. Now here's a ground ball, and that's going to advance the runner, but the throw to first in time. And it's going to be up to Cole Young to see if he can get Luke Raley home so the Mariners can stretch out their lead just a little bit more. Now here's Cole Young, and that's going to be popped up again, and that's going to go straight to left field. And he makes the catch, but the Mariners do get on the board with that solo home run by Jorge Polanco, which is his 12th home run of the year. And we will go into commercial break.
Now sizzling at Apollo Mediterranean Greek Food. Come enjoy our flat-top grilled Greek chicken and beef, Slovaki tender, juicy and bursting with Mediterranean flavor, served with savory yellow rice, fresh daily cut veggies for our crisp salads, homemade hummus, plus warm pita, and our signature tzatziki, perfect for a fresh filling meal made with care. Cold beer available. Order now at apollogreekfood.com. Come visit us for a delicious meal and a cold beer. We'd love to serve you.
Yeah, I'm just enjoying the fan. And they're still showing some highlights for the Giants. And we are back from the break. And that is a strike on Lofton. That's going to be 0-1. Who grounded out in the third inning. Batting 182 with 1 home run, 6 RBIs. And now the pitch. And that's going to be low for a ball. 1-1. One and one, the count is Lofton. And now the pitch. Outside for a ball, 2-1. And now 2-1. Now here's a fly ball to left field, and that is, I think that's foul ball. Thankfully, that's foul. That should have been a home run. Lofton nearly tied the game for the Royals. And now we're at 2-2. Team ERA, Royals at 3.49, Mariners at 3.90. Clear regression from last season. As now we're at 2-2. And now the pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball. 2-2 again. Didn't even have time to count how many games I have done this season. But I do have one on the board. And now here's a 2-2. Now here's a ground ball. Should be easy play for Ben Williamson. Throw to first. And that's going to be in time. And that is going to be 1 out. This is my 35th game. Magic number 65. Projected to do a game tomorrow. And possibly, just maybe I'll do a game on Sunday. Is what I'm hoping for. Now here's Fermin, the pitch. And that is a strike. We're at 0-1 for Fermin. And now here's the pitch. Low for a ball, 1-1. And now we're doing it again, the 1-2. 1-1-1. Gonna be a foul ball. Strike 2 for Fermin. How many hamburgers are you eating tomorrow? I have no idea. Maybe just one. As we're at 1-2 for Fermin. And now the 1-2 pitch. And it's a foul ball. Strike. Still strike 2. Now we're at 1-2 for Fermin. And the pitch. Outside for a ball. 2-2. Freddie Fermin strikes out less than the average. And now the 2-2 pitch. And that's going to be fouled again. And we're going to try this again at 2-2. And now the pitch again. Up high for a ball. 3-2. The 3-2 pitch. It's fouled again. It's going to be 3-2. There's just so much foul balls. Keep going. And now the full count pitch. Oh, and that pretty much hit him, and that's going to be ball 4. Take your base. Logan Evans is really struggling with his control. Now here's Isbell up to the plate. And now the pitch. Now here's a fly ball to center field, and Julio's still running back. Nope. He'll make the catch, and that's going to be 2 outs. And he has to go back to first base. And now here's Jonathan India back to the very top of the lineup. And now the pitch. And that's going to be inside for a ball. We're at 1-0 for Jonathan India. And now here's the pitch. Low for a ball. That is 2-0. The pitch. And that's going to be strike. That was pretty much right down the middle. 2-1. He's got it. And the 2-1 pitch. And now here's a fly ball to center field, and that is going to drop in for a base hit. Someone could be going to third base, and he does. And now he got runners on first and third, but there is 2 outs. But you also got Bobby Witt Jr. play, and this is where things can get very, very dangerous. Evans is now on 79 pitches, and I assume with the way he's been pitching, I think this is going to be his last inning, even if he does get out of this, like even right now. I wouldn't count on it at all. Now here's Bobby Witt Jr., who is 0 for 2 so far. And I do wonder if this is going to be Logan Evans's final inning. And now the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 1. And Bobby Witt Jr. has kind of been swinging everywhere. And that's going to be strike 1. Now with a pitch, low for a ball. Now we're at 1-1. And the pitch. Swing and a miss, and that is going to be strike 2. One and 2. And the pitch. Outside for a ball. 2-2. Now here's a fly ball to right field, and running is Canzoni, makes the catch, and that will retire the side as the Mariners get themselves out of another jam, and we will go into the bottom of the 5th inning.
Senor, tell me how you make a thin crust Sahara pizza.
With your hands. Cornmeal.
I am back. And we are back from the break. Now here's J.P. Crawford up to the plate. And now here's the pitch. And that's going to be way outside for a ball. That is going to be 2-0. And the pitch again for J.P. Crawford. And that's going to be a foul ball. Two and one for JP. And now the pitch. Now here's a fly ball to right field. Nope, right to the right fielder. It was more like a lining bullet. Looking at the pitch count, Logan Evans is on 84. And now next up is going to be Julio Rodriguez. Flick of the switch. Where have you been? I haven't seen you in such a long time. You know what? If you want softball highlights, I got you. And now here's Julio Rodriguez, and that is going to be a strike. I was wondering, I haven't seen you at all. I think you were with like the Northwest Sports Fanatics or something. And now here's the pitch. Swing. Why? Why are you swinging at pitches like that? You are just embarrassing to watch, Julio, just for that. Here, I got you. I'll do it from the Church League. And now we're at 0-2. And the pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball. And flick of the switch, if you're still there, I'll give you some of my softball highlights. Now we're at 0-2 for Julio. And now the pitch. Way up high for a ball. That is going to be 1-2. You've been wondering about, but you just haven't engaged at all. Well, now you're going to see my full season highlights, worth of highlights. I've had 3 games in the book so far, 1-2. And now here's 1-2 for Julio Rodriguez. And now here's the pitch. Swing and a miss right out, way outside of the strike zone. And that is strike 3. And now that is 2 outs. Julio is he just continues to be very frustrating to watch. Just absolutely embarrassing. can't believe what I'm seeing. And now here's a fly ball popped up. That's not going to get anything done. And that's going to be a 1-2-3 inning. Just absolutely embarrassing. And we go to the very next inning. It is still 1-0 Mariners. And hold on, since I'm putting up all these highlights, let me just give you some my last two highlights. Here you are. And I know there's a lot of baseball fans completely gazing about him. All right, if you're ready for some highlights, here you go.
There you go. Good hit. Go home. Go home.
Ooh.
Yes, you're up.
Go to third. There you go. Yeah. Wow.
Yep, those are my hits. Mariners will always be like this until they get real ownership. Like that'll ever happen. And flick of the switch. Oh, we're back from the break. I was going to show you another video, but we are back from the break. And I'll show you highlights from my very first game. I got some stuff to delete on my channel. Looks like we got some activity in the bullpen. Looks like they're putting out Logan Evans for another inning. He lives for another inning. Now the pitch, way low for a ball. And it's low again for a ball. And I think Logan Evans may have seen his very last inning. Now we're at 2-0 and the pitch. And here's a ground ball foul. And now we're at 2-1, the pitch. And that's going to be popped up to right center field. And here's Canzone. And he makes the catch. We got one out so far. And now the pitch to Garcia. And that is going to be low for a ball. You watch the games on and off, but we all know we'll sign some washed up has-beens before the deadline, trade for some, and Jerry will give us some line of BS, doing the fan base a favor. And that is a strike for Logan Evans. Or, sorry, for Garcia from Logan Evans. 90 pitches for Evans so far. And now here's the 1-1. Low for a ball, way low, and that control is just off. And we're at 2-1. And the pitch. Now here's a ground ball right to Cole Young. Throw to first, and that's going to be in time. Got to keep that 54% rolling, huh? How do you feel about Julio Rodriguez? This one guy says, watching Julio chase sliders way outside the strike zone is getting old. It is old. Jordan Morris is actually in appearance at the Mariners game. Yeah, and then when we trade Julio, he's going to be instantly better somewhere else. That's how it works. And now it's 2 outs so far. Here in the top of the 6th inning, as we're at 1-0. And now here's the pitch, and a swing and a miss, and that is strike 1. Now here's a fly ball to deep left center field, and that is going to be off the wall. And Salvador Perez is going to get himself into second base. The throw to second, and that throw by Randy Arozarena is just garbage. Just embarrassing, and I think that could be it for Logan Evans. And I would imagine, because he's at 95 pitches so far, so I would imagine that this is time for Logan Evans to be pulled out. As I do think Kansas City may have figured him out at this point. He's only given up 3 hits, though. I would be too that Cal Raleigh. I am kind of surprised that he signed with us too. And yep, that's going to be enough for Logan Evans. I mean, I think everyone's seen enough. But Casey Legumina is going to be in, so that's not going to really be much of a difference maker, in my opinion. And now we're going to go into commercial break, and flick of the switch. This is just for you.
Got it, Greg.
And he has a good throwing arm. And he's also a basketball player in the Special Olympics. And if you would like to know how that game went, join my YouTube membership for just
Why do you like him?
Because he gets on base.
And if you would like to know how that game The worst part of that play was I actually had to play at third base, and instead, I went to second base? That's why you gotta pay attention. Yeah, clearly that was taunting, wasn't it? Nah, I'm not bothered by that. And if you would like to know how
All the way, all the way, all the way.
And we are back from the break. And flick of the switch, good to see you again. As we got Logan Evans, he's done 3 strikeouts, 95 pitches, gave up no runs the pitch. And that's going to be a strike, 2-1. And here's Rave and the 2-1. Way outside for a ball. That is going to be 3-1. And the control continues to struggle on Mariners pitching. Tomorrow, Mariners will be hosting the Pittsburgh Pirates. Now we're at 3-1. Now the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2 on a 93. It's going to be Brian Wu on Saturday. Luis Castillo. Brian Wu on Friday. Luis Castillo on Saturday. And George Kirby on Sunday. As we're at 3-2, the pitch. And that's going to be popped up and well out of play. We're at 2 strikes so far. Legumina's got what he wants. And the pitch. Popped up, and that could, nope, way out of play once again. Is now we're at the pitch. And here it is. And it's going to be way outside. Ball 4, take your base. And now you got runners on first and second, but you have more options to get runners out. But this is where things can still get very, very dangerous. Now here's Nick Lofton. And now the pitch. And that's going to be a fly ball to right field. And Canzone's there, and he makes the catch. And that is going to retire the side. And we go to the bottom of the 6th inning.
Try our delicious burgers today. Satisfy your cravings with our mouth-watering burgers. Double cheeseburger with classic double beef patties with melted cheese, lettuce, tomatoes, onion and house sauce, a fresh, flavorful delight. Double bacon cheeseburger, crispy bacon, fried onions, barbecue sauce, and double cheese. Double guacamole bacon burger, double cheese, crispy bacon, guacamole, lettuce, tomatoes, onions, and our special house sauce. Pair any burger with fries with an ice-cold drink for the perfect meal. Come down and taste the difference. You can only find these burgers at our Snoqualmie Mexican food truck. Taco lovers, this one's for you. Come enjoy tacos auténticos at Snoqualmie Mexican food truck, packed with flavor, made with love, and always fresh. Try our carne asada, al pastor con piña, and more. Topped with cebolla, cilantro, y a squeeze of lime. Pair it with a cold drink and relax at our outdoor seating. Perfecto para disfrutar. Find us at the Snoqualmie Mexican food truck, open daily. Ven con hambre, sal fies.
I'm going to go through all of my banners that I have. I'm going to keep that one. I guess I'll keep that one. Keep that one. Keep. And it looks like we are back from the break. And we are, yep, here is Randy Arozarena up to the plate. Oh, this has a nice footrest. I guess not so bad of a desk it is. Now the pitch. Swing and a miss. Nearly got to the dirt. That's going to be 0-2. Arozarena, though, is batting 6 for 13, so he's hitting very well in this series. But he hasn't done much in this game. The pitch, and that's going to be popped up, and that's going to be well playable. First baseman's there. And he makes the catch. Doesn't even try to run it out to first base. And now here's Jorge Polanco, and now the pitch. And that is going to be a strike. And that's going to be 0-1. And a pitch to Polanco. And that's going to be strike 2. We're at 0-2. And now the pitch. And strike 3 called, and Jorge Polanco knew it. And now we've got 1 out, 2 outs already. Kind of lounging at this point. Especially with a fan on. Now here's Luke Raley, who is 1 for 1. Lugo's still going. Now the pitch. That is low for a ball. Lugo has pitched very, very well, with the exception of a couple hiccups, but he's been getting out of some innings, all of them, with the exception of that Jorge Polanco home run, where the Mariners got really lucky. Now here's the 1-0. Now here's a ground ball, and that's going to be fielded by Jonathan India. Throw to first, and that's going to get away, and Luke Raley will get a free bag to second base. It was a very fantastic effort by Jonathan India, but just couldn't get there. And now you got Luke Raley at second base. And it's going to be up to Dominic Canzone to see what he can do. Now the pitch. And that is going to be a strike. Canzone has a very inconsistent approach to the plate. But when he gets locked in, he's locked in. Now the pitch. Whoa, swing and a miss. What is up with this swing and a misses way outside the strike zone mentality? They've really got to stop that. As now we're at 0-2 for Dom Canzone. Now here's the 0-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss at the dirt, strike 3. And Canzone is just fuming at himself. He has just been completely off today. It's just not his day. And we go to the top of the 7th inning. Just horrible swing. Just reminds me of this. The 0-2 pitch.
You gotta love these guys.
I mean, he literally just swing. He literally just swinged at
None
the
of those
dirt.
were in the strike zone.
It wasn't even in the strike zone, and he just swinged it. Like, why?
Like, literally, that wasn't Taylor Scott being good. That was just
really
you just
bad.
swinging at crap.
Yeah, that was a very embarrassing swing. That Dom Canzone swing was like this. And we are back from the break. And here's Casey Legumina gets an inning. And that is going to be a strike. Almost to the bottom of the 7th inning. This game has been breezing along. It's about a minute and 41 seconds in. Now here's a fly ball drilled to left center field, but Julio Rodriguez catches it. I thought that was going to be gone. Yeah, so what I'm saying was it's been an hour and 41 minutes. It's been a pretty quick game thus far. Now the pitch, and that's going to be in there for a strike. Now here's Kyle Isbell. And that misses it. And that should have been a strike. Don't know why they didn't call that one a strike. And now the pitch again. And he misses it for a ball. Now we're at 2-1. And now the pitch. Check swing. Did he go? He does not go. Now the 3-1. And that is going to be a strike. Sounds like that was pretty much a makeup call. And now that is 3-2. Well, it was in the strike zone anyway, so I don't think you can really call that a makeup call anyway, as we're at 3-2 on Isbell. Legumina is working on a 3-2 with one out. He's got to get this guy out. And now the 3-2 pitch, and that's going to be a foul ball. And you just, when you're a pitcher, you hate foul balls, including myself. I hate it because that just keeps giving hitters an opportunity to stay alive. And now the 3-2. And inside for ball 4, take your base. And now you got a runner on first base. Legumina is now breaking ranks. I don't know what to make of this. And now we got Jonathan India up to the plate. And the pitch. And that's going to be way inside for a ball. And I think you got to get Legumina out of there. I think his time is up. He's just showing complete inconsistency with the strike zone. Basically, everyone is, which is very unfortunate. And now the pitch. And that's going to be in there for a strike. As we're at 1-1. And the pitch. And gets jammed up and fouled. And no play to be done. It's going to be strike 2. So at least there's an advantage there. Now we're at 1-2. And that's going to be up high for a ball. We're at 2-2. And now the pitch. Way up high for a ball. And this is 3-2. The lack of control on these pitchers is just excruciatingly frustrating. Like, what is going on with the control? And now the pitch. And that is going to be ball 4, take your base. Where is the zero control on pitching? And here comes Dan Wilson, and he has seen enough. I saw enough. Dan Wilson's just waiting too long. And that's going to be Carlos Vargas. Oh, great. Another guy who misses strike zones. Just absolutely insane. I am just like, it's just frustrating when they just can't find the strike zone. And if you're frustrated, I'll try to make you guys feel a little bit better.
Try our delicious burgers today. Satisfy your cravings with our mouth-watering burgers. Double cheeseburger with classic double beef patties with melted cheese, lettuce, tomatoes, onion and house sauce, a fresh, flavorful delight. Double bacon cheeseburger, crispy bacon, fried onions, barbecue sauce, and double cheese. Double guacamole bacon burger, double cheese, crispy bacon, guacamole, lettuce, tomatoes, onions, and our special house sauce. Pair any burger with fries with an ice-cold drink for the perfect meal. Come down and taste the difference. You can only find these burgers at our Snoqualmie Mexican food truck.
And we are back from the break. Now here's Jason Vargas up on the mound. He has an exact 3 ERA, but he has 32 strikeouts, but he has 18 walks. And I think this could be a disaster. Here's Bobby Witt Jr., who's 0 for 3, but I don't know if that really means anything. And once again, the control is just absolutely gone. 1-0 for Bobby Witt Jr. And they can't use Matt Brash because they just used him yesterday. And now here's the 1-0. Now here's a ground ball, and that's going to get right through for a base hit, and that is going to score in the run. And now it is a 1-1 ball game with a tie caused by Bobby Witt Jr. And now we've got a brand new ball game. I mean, you knew that 1-0 lead wasn't going to last, where the pitchers were forced to pitch perfect baseball, but it didn't really matter. The pitchers have not really stepped up much at all either. That was just a liner. Went right over the head of J.P. Crawford. And now here's Pasquantino, who was hit by the pitch. He is 2 for 13 in the series, though. And now here's the pitch. Again, throw strikes. Now we're at 1-0. And now here's the pitch. And this time it is a strike. Okay, that's great. We don't. Oh, Bobby Witt Jr. just stole the base. Now you wonder if you just would do the intentional walk at this point. Now the 1-1. Now here's a ground ball, and that's going to get right through for a base hit. Here comes another run. Bobby Witt Jr. possibly scoring the throw to the plate, and that is not in time. He missed the tag. Cal Raleigh missed the tag, and Bobby Witt Jr. scores. And now Kansas City has now taken a 3-1 lead. And because Dan Wilson wasted this challenge, he cannot challenge at all. How do you not apply that tag? Something very fundamental. So we traded Eugenio Suarez for that. Just absolutely frustrating. And you might just see that the way that the offense has been going for the Mariners, this game's pretty much over. Yeah, Cal Raleigh clearly missed the tag. And now the pitch. That is going to be outside for a ball. Yeah, no tag was applied at all. Completely missed it. And Bobby Witt Jr. got the hand on it just in time. And now the pitch. And again, throw. Now we're at 2-0. The pitch. And do I even want to tell you what that pitch was? It was a ball. It's the lack of control on these pitchers. Now we're at 3-0 for Garcia. And now the pitch. Ball 4, take your base. And the Mariners, it feels like that they're breaking records on walks so far. How many walks have the Mariners pitched today? They've been walking quite a bit of batters today. 4 walks today. And now Pete Woodworth is going to come out to talk to Vargas. Here's Salvador Perez up to the plate. And now the pitch. And that's going to be right in there for a strike. Now we're at 0-1 for Perez. And now the pitch. And that's going to be popped up and fouled. Now we're at 0-2 for Perez. And now the pitch. Low for a ball, 1-2. And that's going to be a foul ball. Salvador Perez is now 1 for 3. I mean, the thing is, you can't really blame everything on the pitching. Now, their pitching was atrocious. Yes, like 4 walks is unacceptable, especially for the level that the Mariners are at on their pitching, what they're supposed to be. But, yeah, 4 walks is bad. But when you only score 1 run and it was off a very lucky home run, more like an oopsie pitch, this is what happens. As now we're at 1-2, and now the pitch. And it's a foul ball. Sometimes it makes you wonder how the Mariners have even won these games with how streaky and inconsistent this team really is. The more the Mariners play like this, the more I'm really getting even more impatient about expansion news. Now we're at 1-2 for Salvador Perez. And now the pitch. Now here's a ground ball right to Carlos Vargas. Throw to second and throw to first. And clearly not in time. And now we've got 2 outs. Finally, the Mariners got their second out of the game, of this inning. And now we got the Dave Rave, or John Rave, up to the plate. Vargas at 15 pitches, and this game is pretty much on its way to be over real quickly. And now the pitch. Now here's a ground ball right to Cole Young. Throw to first in time, and that's going to retire the side. And we're going to go into the 7th inning. And it's time for the 7th inning stretch. And let's sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back, so let's root for the Mariners. If they don't win, it's a shame. It would be a shame because the Mariners had a 2-1 series lead, and they're about to blow it. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Up, 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 hello, hello, oh no, said we gotta go. Yeah, 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 hello, hello. Oh, baby, said we gotta go. A fine little girl, she waiting for me. Catch a ship across the sea. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's really just sad. Here's have some nachos, everyone. And we are back from the break. Where are we at right now? We got Ben Williamson up to the plate. Oh, now here's the pitch. It's going to be way up high for a ball. That's going to be 1-1. Now we're 1-1. And the pitch, way outside for a ball. That's going to be 2-1. And Lugo is still going in strong. 93 pitches thus far. Now we're at 2-1. And now the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. We're at 0-2, 2-2. And now here is the 2-2 pitch. Now here's a liner to right field, and that is going to be a base hit. And now we got Ben Williamson at first base with a single to start this inning. And now we've got Cole Young up to the plate. It's a nice, smooth swing by Ben Williamson. And now here's Cole Young, and he's going for the bunt, and foul ball is a great idea. He could have easily got to first base had he pulled it off properly. Had it gone fair, he would have been safe for sure with that speed of his. 96 pitches for Lugo, and maybe that could be it after this at bat. As the Mariners are down 3-1. Young is 0 for 2 so far. And now the pitch. And a swing and a miss literally right down the middle. And that is going to be strike 2. Have no idea how he couldn't get a barrel on that one. And we're at 0-2 the pitch. Now it's a ground ball foul. Now we're at 0-2. And low for a ball. Now the pitch. Up high for a ball, 2-2. And the pitch again. And strike 3 called, and that was clearly way outside the strike zone. That was way too much inside, and that's going to be strike 3. I wonder how you could even call that a strike. Yeah, that's what an ABS system is for, but yeah, he sold them on that. He sold them on the catcher sold it. Salvador Perez really sold it to him. Oh boy. Yeah, it was a crazy slide by the Bobby Witt Jr.
Senor, tell me how you make a thin crust Sahara pizza.
With your hands. Cornmeal.
Hello, baseball fans. I'm excited to announce that we are still offering 50% off pizza and 25% off bowling Monday and Tuesdays. Head on over to Snoqualmie Sahara Pizza. This deal will go through May.
And that's how you make a Sahara pizza. Beautiful thing.
And we are back from the break. We got a new pitcher. Irseg, that's his pitch. That's his name. I don't even know how to pronounce it. As we're at 1-0 so far. And now here's the pitch. And that's going to be right in there for a strike. As now we're at 1-1. Now here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Mariners are trying to do everything they can to lose this game, aren't they? Now we're at 1-2. And the pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball. We're at 1-2 for J.P. Crawford. And now the pitch. Outside for a ball. And that will be 2-2. And the pitch. And that's going to be popped up. He just got way under it. And that's going to make the catch. And Ben Williamson has to stay. And now there's 2 outs. Of course, everyone's going to say, oh, it was the T-Mobile Park ballpark suppression. But no, JP Crawford got under it. It was just a terrible swing. And that is up high for a ball. Now the pitch. Now here's a liner and fouled. We're at 1-1 for Julio Rodriguez. And there's 2 outs. Oh, wow. Ben Williamson nearly got thrown out. And Julio's going to try it. I don't know what much he can really do, as he's been swinging at garbage all day. And now the 1-1. And that's going to be popped up and fouled. That's going to be strike 2. And when you're at strike 2, this is where you're pretty much likely to strike out. Now we're at 1-2. And now here's the pitch. Low for a ball, 2-2. Here's Julio waiting. And the 2-2 pitch. Up high for a ball, 3-2. Got 3-2 the count for Julio. And now the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That is 3 strikeouts today for Julio Rodriguez. And that's going to retire the side. We go to whatever. Top of the 8th inning. Mariners are effed.
Now sizzling at Apollo Mediterranean Greek Food. Come enjoy our flat-top grilled Greek chicken and beef, Slovaki tender, juicy and bursting with Mediterranean flavor, served with savory yellow rice, fresh daily cut veggies for our crisp salads, homemade hummus, plus warm pita, and our signature tzatziki, perfect for a fresh filling meal made with care. Cold beer available. Order now at apollogreekfood.com. Come visit us for a delicious meal and a cold beer. We'd love to serve you.
Wow, Jason Dominguez is actually having a good season, isn't he? He has 6 home runs so far. He's been splitting time, I think. Nope, hasn't been splitting time at all. He's been injured a lot, though. Now we got Eduardo Bizardo at the bullpen because the Mariners have convinced themselves that this game's pretty much over. The pitch, and that's going to be right in there for a strike, as that's going to be 0-1. And now the pitch, and that's going to be a strike. Now we're at 0-2 for Nick Lofton. And now the pitch. And that's going to be strike 3 called, and that's going to be 1 out. Now here's Fermin. And now the pitch. Now here's a fly ball drilled to left field. Foul ball. It looked like it looked really good on that swing too. Now we're at 1-1 for Fermin. And now the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. One, 2. And that's going to be popped up to the shortstop. J.P. Crawford is there. And he makes the catch. And that's going to be 2 outs. Going into the 8th inning. And now here's Isbell up to the plate. Now the pitch. Low for a ball, and that is going to be 1-0. He walked in the 7th, and the pitch. And that is a strike. 1-1. And now we're at 1-1. Now the pitch. And that is a strike again. And the pitch. And strike 3 called. And that was an easy inning for Eduardo Bizardo. And that's going to retire the side. Oh, boy. About a couple inning and a half left.
Senor. Try our hand-breaded chicken tenders, perfectly seasoned and served with a choice of sides. golden fries, fluffy biscuits, homemade mashed potatoes, creamy mac and cheese, fresh side salad, fresh coleslaw, plus enjoy a dipping sauce on the side. Come in and treat yourself to the best comfort food around. Visit us today and satisfy your cravings. Taco lovers, this one's for you. Come enjoy tacos auténticos at Snoqualmie Mexican food truck, packed with flavor, made with love, and always fresh. Try our carne asada, al pastor con piña, and more. Topped with cebolla, cilantro, y a squeeze of lime. Pair it with a cold drink and relax at our outdoor seating. Perfecto para disfrutar. Find us at the Snoqualmie Mexican food truck, open daily. Ven con hambre, sal fies.
Still on commercial break at the moment. It looks like we are back from the break. Now it's Cal Raleigh up to the plate. He is 0 for 3. Hasn't really amounted to much at all. And especially when you're 0 for 3, you're doing absolutely nothing for the team. Now the pitch. And that's going to be inside for a ball. And Cal Raleigh he leads the major leagues as a catcher for most home runs in the first half easily. Now the 1-0. Low for a ball, 2-0. He's batting .270 with 33 home runs. Now the pitch. And that is a strike one. And Cal Raleigh couldn't believe it. I just never argue with the umpire. There's just really no point. Now we're at 2-1. Now here's the 2-1 pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball. Now we're at 2-2. And now the 2-2 pitch. And that's going to be popped up into basically nowhere. Third baseman's got it. He makes the catch, and that is going to be 1 out. Now here is Randy Arozarena up to the plate. 1 out thus far. And now the pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball. And now here's the 0-1 pitch. And that is going to be a strike. And that's going to be 0-2. Now the 0-2 pitch. And that gets away. And that's going to be 1-2. Oh for 3 is Randy Arozarena. He's also been playing atrociously to close this series. The 1-2 Swing and a miss, strike 3. How embarrassing. As the Mariners continue to play very uninspiring baseball. Now here's Jorge Polanco up to the plate. And now here's the pitch. Now here's a liner to right field, and that is going to be a base hit, and that's going to be a ground rule double for Jorge Polanco. And now he gets to second base with a 2-out double with a runner on scoring position and the tying run at the plate. But it's going to be up to Luke Raley to see if he can do any kind of damage. But I wouldn't count on it. It's a nice hit by Polanco, though. He now has a double, a single, and now he is just a... Oh, actually, that was more than just a... So they're going to call that a ground rule double.
Now sizzling at Apollo Mediterranean Greek Food, come enjoy our flat-top grilled Greek chicken and beef, Slovaki tender, juicy and bursting with Mediterranean flavor, served with savory yellow rice, fresh daily cut veggies for our crisp salads, homemade hummus, plus warm pita, and our signature tzatziki, perfect for a fresh filling meal made with care. Cold beer available. Order now at apollogreekfood.com. Come visit us for a delicious meal and a cold beer. We'd love to serve you.
And we are back from the break. Carlos Estevez is now on the mound. Now here's Luke Raley up to the plate. And now the pitch. Way up high for a ball. As now we're at 2-0 for Polanco. Now here's the pitch. And here's a ground ball and a foul. I meant Polanco. I meant Raley. Haven't watched in a while. Been crazy busy. Looks like there's nothing changed. And Julio has 3 strikeouts in this game. Yeah, very embarrassing strikeouts. Now we're at 2-1. And now the pitch. And that is going to be a strike. We're at 2-2 for Raley. The pitch.
And now here's a fly ball to right field, and that's going to be caught by the right fielder. And that's going to retire the side. Well, looks like I got someone that wants to be on the show. Name is Joe Kramer. He actually was a huge part of my Julio Rodriguez "You Suck" video. Well, he is going to be coming on in just a few moments. All right. Let's do this. With my fan blasting in my face. Well, how you doing, kid?
Hey, Rooftop.
Kramer or Gamer?
I just had the displeasure of watching your Julio hit piece, and I just have a few questions I want to ask you.
Go ahead.
I just want to know where you get off with the audacity to attack Julio like you did. I'd like to see you do better at the plate than what Julio's doing.
Oh, well, in that logic, then why do we have media members talking sports? Then why do we have people expressing opinions? So by that, let's just ban everyone from expressing their opinions however they want, whether they're gazing for Julio Rodriguez or criticizing. Actually, no, you can only say good things about Julio, because the reason why we must be nice to Julio is because of this.
All right, guys, goodbyes only. Don't forget it.
Stop it.
Thank you.
Well,
But yeah, but the guy swings at the dirt. He struck out on the dirt 2 times, and he swung at another bad pitch. So that's why he's 0 for 3 with a strikeout. As we've got Trent Thornton, and he pitches it in for a strike on Jonathan India.
do you think you could do better, Joe?
Of course not. Absolutely not. Of course, I'm not a Major League Baseball player. Of course, I'm not going to do better, but I have the right to an opinion to criticize and hold him accountable. If I'm just saying nothing but gazing things about Julio, then I'm doing him a disservice. I'm not being honest with him. I'm like, oh yeah, he's just a young guy. It's okay. He'll be fine. He has until like 30 years old to figure it out.
I mean, yeah, he's still young, right? He's only 24, and if you look at it, in 5 years he'll be 29 and still young. I mean, hell, he'll still be young in 10 years, right? So
yeah,
forever young, Julio will be forever young,
and he'll set the world on fire.
Yeah,
and bringing him higher.
Yeah, I'm sure the Julio people will still be saying he's still young when he's 35, when he has $400 million in the bank and everyone's still defending him.
It will still happen. The 1-2, and that's gonna be popped up. And here's Luke Raley, and he makes the catch. And let's look at the other box scores throughout the game. Like, as much as the pitching has been terrible, but let's look at this. J.P. Crawford 1 for 4. Julio Rodriguez 0 for 3. Cal Raleigh 0 for 3. Randy Rosarena 0 for 4. Polanco and Raley have been upholding their part. Dom Canzone 0 for 3. Ben Williams actually got a hit, and then Cole Young 0 for 3. When you have a lineup like that, putting up those kind of numbers, you're not winning a baseball game.
Yeah. So what are they going to do at first base? What's going on?
They'll just run the course with Luke Raley and Donovan Solano because they're, quote, hot right now. Now here's a ground ball to Ben Williams and smoothly fielded throw to first in time. And that's going to be 2 outs. And on the Mariners, on the bright.
Yeah, on the bright side, I was going to say at least Julio is one of the best defensive players in baseball. So I think they could live without his production, but I just don't see what they're going to do at first base. It's not going to be sustainable. That Solano.
No,
It was not. I
Good
mean,
combo.
Polanco's 384 month of April was obviously not sustainable either. And here's Pasquantino. Now the pitch up high for a ball.
Yeah.
Very disappointing.
Darn.
We're at 1-0 the pitch. Now here's a ground ball, and talk about a 1-2-3 inning. But we're going into the bottom of the 9th inning, and with the Mariners down to their last 3 outs, I believe it's going to be. Try to remember who is up to the plate. Well, I better look at the play-by-play.
It sure would be something if Julio proved us wrong with a walk-off home run, wouldn't it?
Yeah, wasn't that what that video was for?
Exactly. I'll
We've
stay
got
on. Good luck.
Canzone, Ben Williamson, and Cole Young. That is the last 3 lifelines.
The bottom of the order.
And Kramer, I know you saw this already, but let's do this again. So I was recently asked, what was the worst trade in the history of the Seattle Supersonics? Some may think it was the Sonics trading away Scottie Pippen. Some think it was trading Sean Kemp for Vin Baker. Wrong. I would say it was when former Seattle Mayor Greg Nichols traded away Kevin Durant, rookies Russell Westbrook and Serge Ibaka for $45 million on July 2nd, 2008. Yeah, the relocation to Oklahoma City. Never forget.
But at the end of the day, all that would have gotten us was 2 years. And at the end of that 2 years, we would have had a very bad relationship with the league, no team, and really no prospects. We think we have the pieces to be more likely to be successful than had we waited until the judge is ruling it for.
And yeah, it's a very tragic day.
Yeah.
Never forget.
I think that making that video, which, by the way, if y'all haven't seen it yet, go check out the Rooftops recent video explaining a new angle behind the Sonics moving. I think it probably, at least I can speak for me. It made me depressed when we finally released it. I don't know about you, but maybe in different ways. You saw.
It's making me. Everything's making me more depressed until we get that expansion news that says Seattle's getting an expansion team. Here's the name of the owner. Here's the expansion draft. Yeah, I'm gonna be depressed for. All of it's coming back. Like for some reason, between like 2017 up until like, I guess like now, like it. I almost forgot that we even had a basketball team. As here's Canzone, the pitch, low for a ball. As we got a baseball game to finish. Yeah, I kind of forgot about it. I tried to deny it. That I tried to forget everything and just let it go. And then since expansion's coming up, Oklahoma won a championship. Everything came back to me. Back to the way it was back in 2016. It never left me.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, that was it.
I was just
we're
going
at
to say
1-1 for Canzone, by the way. The pitch. And here's a fly ball foul. Hey, what?
I was just going to say, to me, the video was a reminder, and I think a lot of people miss this. When we do finally get a new team, I don't think people are prepared for this. It's going to be a new team with a totally different vibe than the original team. You're not going to be walking into a basketball first building with that little green and gold shop sitting out front. You're walking into a multi-purpose venue with a brand new team, sharing an arena with a hockey team. There's probably going to be a totally different color scheme.
Now here's
logos.
a fly ball to center field, and that still might be going. And that is gone. That is a home run for Dom Canzone. And the Mariners bring it to within 1. And as soon as we were talking about more Sonic stuff, Dom Canzone shuts us up by hitting a home run to make it his 6th home run of the season. And that just left the building out in a hurry. And the Mariners now leave it within 1 with Miles Mastroboni up to the plate. So maybe let's just talk about more Sonics as we go. So I cut you off. So what do you got?
I was just saying, I think when we finally do get a new team, it's not gonna hit until people walk into the arena that it's been 20 years since that original team left, and this is a whole new team. It's not gonna erase the wound of losing the original team like I think some people hope it might. So,
And the other thing too is it's gonna be a lot of new fans. Like right now, as of now, the Sonics fan base, nobody wants to admit it. I like to say that we're a very aging fan base. When I went to that Lenny Wilkens event, and I know we talked about this before, I was the youngest person there, and I'm 33. It felt like it. Maybe there was one person younger than me, as Master Boney takes it for a ball. So that's the other thing to consider, that we're going to have a lot of new Sonics fans to educate in the future if we are to get a team back. And I'm saying if, because I don't want to jinx it by saying when.
yeah, totally. I won't believe it until Adam Silver finally makes the announcement that Seattle's getting a new team. For all I know, I'm expecting Mexico City and Las Vegas to get a team, because I know the NBA would totally do that to us at this point.
Well, to be fair, at least Passport Bros marriages will go up if you get a team in Mexico, if you know what I mean.
There you go.
There's that.
So how hard did Canzone hit that ball? What was the exit velo?
I didn't see it.
Darn.
But I guess we can find out. But it left. It felt like it left pretty quickly. It doesn't say what it was. Doesn't say what the exit velo was. And now here's a fly ball to right field, and that is dropping in for a base hit. And now Master Boney is at first base, and now we've got the winning run at the plate. And I wonder who is up to the plate. Let's find out who is. It's going to be Cole Young. Maybe this could be an opportunity where he can get his first home run. So maybe let's keep talking. Okay, what else do we feel about Sonics? I mean, I know that there's a difference between us. I'm the Greg Nichols guy, and you're the Howard Schultz guy. So there's a difference between us.
Howard Schultz mainly, and David Stern as well. Those, to me, those are the two main villains, Howard Schultz and David Stern. And our next video coming out later in June,
July.
We'll go July. Excuse me. Thanks. We'll go more into the David Stern side of the equation.
Now the pitch,
yeah.
And that's going to be a strike. And yeah, it'll be very interesting to get more of a, not saying an alternative narrative, but we're calling it a more deeper narrative than what everyone's used to. Even though I'm still the F Greg Nichols guy, because he should have been the one and swing and a miss, strike two. As I do think he should have been the last line of defense, should have fought it to the death, because Aubrey McClendon lost 90% of his fortunes shortly after that sale, or after that settlement. And some say he could have sold, Clay Bennett could have just sold that team to Steve Ballmer. But however, we don't know if that is for sure. Maybe Clay Bennett still would have held on to the team, and 2 years after that lease, they go bye-bye. But we don't know. We just don't know. But I still would have went with the odds, though. And now the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike three. There goes Cole Young. He's now turning into Julio. And now we got J.P. Crawford, who has a chance to hit into a double play. And you were saying?
Yes. I lost my train of thought. I think
we were talking about Greg Nichols.
David Stern. I was going to say David Stern. Obviously, we're a little biased, but I think it's pretty safe to say the Sonics, pushing the Sonics out, is probably the biggest stain on his record, letting one of the cornerstone NBA franchises
leave. Do you think it's worse than the Patrick Ewing lottery and nicking the Chris Paul trade? Do you think the Sonics is surpassing both of those?
Oh, yeah. I mean, what other, I can't think of an MLB or NFL cornerstone team that has left their city, except for maybe the Brooklyn Dodgers and the New York Baseball Giants. But even then, they kept their brand. So there's still sort of exist.
The Raiders, they left Oakland, but Oakland's a completely different story, though. And there's the 1-1. I mean, there's owners. I mean, the Davis family, they saw the writing on the wall with Oakland anyway. I hate to say it, but Oakland, if you ever drive to Oakland, don't ever drive there again. That's all I'm going to say. As we're at 2-1 on J.P. Crawford. And now here's the pitch.
Well,
and that's going to be a foul ball, strike two.
I think the huge difference too between Oakland and Seattle, both the A's and the Raiders and A's tried for decades, not 2 years, 3 years like the Sonics did. They tried for decades to get a new building with no avail.
That's true.
Those owners tried. I think John Fisher gets a bad rep, but those teams tried to stay in Oakland. The Sonics didn't. They gave up pretty quick. They threw in the towel.
It also didn't help that I think we all know that Seattle had an arena in 1990. They had an arena deal lineup, and then somehow the Ackerleys and the city of Seattle messed it up. And now here's a liner, and that's a foul ball. And J.P. Crawford is still fighting it.
And well, let's not forget also the Sonics had a brand new basketball first facility built in 1995 that was told to be obsolete after 10 years. That seems a little fishy.
2-2. And here's a liner to left field, and that is going to be a base hit. And now you got runners on first and second. Yeah, it's great. It's intimate. I love that we're seeing this in a beautiful building. Seattle has done themselves proud. Remember that quote? We're definitely using that quote for that video.
Yep. And then only 10. Yeah, that's a great idea. And then only 10 years later, oh, yeah, it's obsolete. And you just gave the Seahawks and Mariners way nicer facilities. So now it's our turn.
Yeah. Oh, and guess who's up? Julio Rodriguez, here's Salvador Perez. Okay, pretend I'm Salvador Perez and you're the pitcher. Hey, just relax. Julio is 0 for 3. He struck out 3 times. Just pitch in the dirt. You got this.
Well, you got to go slider low and away first pitch, right? Get him to chase.
You got to do it on all 3 of them because he's going to swing at every single one of them for whatever reason because he's constantly swinging at the dirt.
He's going to be going for a 3-run homer, I'm sure. He wants to do everything.
But some have asked me, could I do better than Julio? And of course I'm going to say, hell no, I'm not going to do better. I'll probably do the same thing, if not worse. I'll probably not even swing at all. Actually, if I don't swing at all, maybe I might walk. So maybe I can technically do better. And now here's Julio, and that is a strike. So he won't swing at a clear strike pitch. Well, it was kind of on the inside corner. Those are tough to swing at anyway.
It was a fastball on the inside corner.
So he still should have.
Was it low?
No, it was high. And that's going to be a foul ball.
I don't know why he wouldn't be attacking that first pitch.
Yeah, because he'll only attack if it's outside the strike zone. And I'd say if Julio strikes out on this one, which he's about to, they're going to intentionally walk Cal Raleigh only for Randy Arozarena to strike out, right? As we're at 0-2, the pitch. Up high for a ball, and holy crap, he actually didn't swing at that one.
So he got it to 1-2.
He got it to 1-2. Aren't we all proud of him?
Way to work the count, Julio. Let's go,
Woo!
buddy.
One ball at a time, baby. As we're at 1-2 for Julio. And now the pitch. Oh, and that gets away, and that's going to advance the runners. And Salvador Perez loses it. He nearly lost it again. And now all Julio's got to do is just hit one in the gap, and this game's over. That's all he literally has to do.
Did he score?
Nope. No one scored. It's 3-2, though, but if he hits anywhere in the gaps, this game's over.
Yeah. Joe, what was your biggest grievance with Key Arena?
Like, I just hate the location, that's all. As we're at 2-2, and I'll explain later. Or maybe I should explain now, but we're at 2-2, the pitch. And that is a pitch out, and now we're at 3-2.
We got to keep talking Sonics to help Julio
I don't like Key Arena because, or that area, first, there's too many traffic lights. The Mercer mess is a thing. I think Soto would have been easier, but what am I to know? I mean, maybe it's a little bit better now. Here's the 3-2. And strike 3 called. And how still but good on the pitcher for getting it to the corner. And now the Mariners are down to that final out. And here's what's going to happen. Cal Raleigh is going to get intentionally walked, and they're going to leave it to Randy Arozarena. Like, here's the thing. I know it was like not in the strike zone clearly, but
knowing the umpire, he's gonna call those.
Where was it?
It was like ticky tack, like right at the cusp, arguably slightly inside.
Was it middle, away, inside?
No, it was like right on the let's say this is strike zone. Julio's like to the right of my phone, and it was like right here.
A fastball.
It was a fastball, so maybe he still should have swung at it.
So he got 2 middle in fastballs in that at bat and didn't offer it either of them. Nice.
Very nice.
You know, Ted Williams always said baseball history is made middle in. Julio seems to think it's made outside the strike zone in the other batter's box in the dirt. But, you know, everybody has their own thing. So everyone has their own way, I guess.
Interesting. Estevez is going to actually pitch to Cal Raleigh. I mean, I would pitch to Randy Arozarena. He's going to strike out anyway. Now here's the pitch. Now here's a ground ball foul. Got runners on first, second, and third with 2 outs. I mean, Julio struck out. How embarrassing. The Cal counter, 33 home runs. And Cal Raleigh's now all of a sudden behind in RBIs. And now here's the pitch. And now here's a ground ball, and this is going to do it. The toss over the first in time, and the ball game is over. The Mariners will drop this game, and they will end up settling for a tie. Oh, boy. Yep, that's how it ends. And I think we can all thank this to Julio because he didn't swing at a strike.
Well,
but he'll swing at a dirt.
Swing at a strike. You told me he took 2 pitches to hit, 2 hitters' pitches, and took both of them. That makes the strikeout even worse.
It really does.
Well,
oh,
hopefully the Mariners can bounce back tomorrow.
I don't know. Against the Pittsburgh Pirates, I wonder if Paul Skeens is pitching. If he's pitching, then he might as well just put that game away.
He's not. I would have gone if he was. I really wanted to see him, but he just pitched like 2 days ago in St. Louis.
Yeah.
They don't want to waste him on a team that can't hit. That puts up 2 runs against the Royals.
So yeah, why would they do that? Yeah, especially on a struggling team as well. Yeah. Wow. Oh, nice job, Julio. 4 strikeouts, golden sombrero. And you know what?
Out 4 times?
4 times, 2 in the dirt, 1 on the inside badly. And now he didn't take a strike. And this is for you, Julio. I got to do this for you, man.
For all of those who are watching, go check out What Is Wrong with Julio Rodriguez by Rooftop Sports. We will break it down in depth as we have. The same issues plague him.
Yep. And with that, I actually have got to roll. And Mr. Kramer, Gamer 11, thank you for being here. And thank you for helping me make that Julio video and that future Howard Schultz, David Stern video. And everyone else, thanks for being part of this channel. Teresa K, you came in late, but sometimes better late than never. And Fritz, you also came around too. So thanks for being here as well. And everyone, have a fantastic evening, as long as you don't let the Mariners ruin your night. Peace out.